welcome back to another episode of the Dumpster Diaries Podcast. I'm Moses Wartooth. I'm here with Justin Allen, and it's another rousing day in the news. But what do we have first?
Well, okay, so first of all, man, we need to get this right out the gate. I want to plug our very new merch and Patreon that we have out now.
We're moving on up.
Yeah, so right there in our YouTube description, we got the links for it. So if you want your own DDP shirts, hats.
We got hats, tank tops, beanies, regular t-shirts, clothes for females.
Yeah, because we are an equal opportunity provider.
Right. The Coons do not discriminate.
So we got some killer merch, man. If you want to check it out, get on there, look at it. It's pretty good. I mean, I'm wearing one of our shirts right now, and I know everyone does this for advertisements, but legitimately they feel good.
Yeah, like I don't want to brag, but our shit is actually very comfortable. Like, I enjoy wearing it. It's not like one of those dry, scratchy like shirts. It's smooth, it's form fitting, it makes you look good, you feel good about yourself.
There you go, right?
That's right.
So it definitely, and the money goes to us too for our show and all that, and things
our future endeavors.
Yeah, and we got a couple of things planned that are going to be pretty cool for the people who actively watch this show. But, however, we got to do fundraising, so why not give the people what they want, get some merch out there.
Yeah.
And
we're never going to beg. We're always going to give you something for your money.
Yes, 100%, So
our Patreon starts at only $1. So even if you're a broke motherfucker, you can still do something.
So the Patreon is $1 a month. That's the lowest tier that we did. And
for only 5 cents a day, you can feed a fellow coon.
You can sponsor a fellow coon. But so the Patreon, that's it's pretty self-explanatory what that is, but a lot of stuff that we can't put on YouTube and we can't put on Instagram, we will have on our Patreon for you guys. And so you want to see raw, unfiltered Moses and Justin, that's where you're going to go to get that, and that's going to be pretty good. I'm actually really excited about that.
Yeah, because it really gives us full creative freedom to do what we've been wanting to do for a while, but had no platform to share it on.
Yeah, and plus we have several videos that have not seen the light of day, because once they are post-editing, it's like, we can't put this on any of the major platforms that are out there and stuff. So I'm not saying fuck YouTube, but, YouTube kind of keeps the thumb down on the people, right? But, man, so get on there, man. Do the Patreon. Like I said, just $1. It's definitely going to be worth it, and the merch is pretty sick, in my opinion. And we got some other stuff we'll be adding to
we're all, updating new stuff, new clothes, new options like that.
Because we'll get, stickers and flags and all that stuff and everything, so it's going to be pretty good, pretty wild. But, if you get something, we appreciate it. If you don't, then we still appreciate you guys watching, man. Couldn't do it without y'all. But anyway, man, you want to get into it, start talking about the current events?
On to the news. We got some big headline stuff, breaking shit today. So.
Yeah. My favorite person is back in the news right now, old Donald J. Trump, dude.
And my second favorite person, Elon Musk. There we go. 2 for 2. Yeah,
so they got some stuff planned. This actually looks pretty good. I kind of like what they're talking about. Mm-hmm. But, when a president is elected, they have advisors that come on and things of that nature. Usually people who specialize in a certain industry or something. These people don't necessarily work directly for the federal government, but it's more of like, hey, I know what I'm talking about. A lot of leaders, in the tech industry have done this famously for the last, 10, 20 years or so. But now Donald Trump has Elon Musk coming on to his potential administration that's going to happen in 2024. And he's actually going to be helping advise some economic plans for the country. And a big thing is they are talking about imposing a flat 15% corporate tax rate. But we do have a video about this where Trump is talking about it. And we'll watch that, and then we'll talk about it a little bit more. But I think this is really good.
Yeah, definitely a positive outlook.
Because anytime this has happened, these tax cuts have happened for major corporations. I know a lot of people are weary about it. It sounds bad on at first, they should pay their fair share. But the reality is that it grows. It produces significant economic growth.
Yeah, if you want businesses to come back to America, you got to give some incentives.
Yes. So we'll watch this video.
At the suggestion of Elon Musk, who has given me his complete and total endorsement. That's nice. He's a smart guy. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. Very, very much appreciated. I will create a government efficiency commission tasked with conducting a complete financial and performance audit of the entire federal government and making recommendations for drastic reforms. We need to do it. Can't go on the way we are now. And Elon, because he's not very busy, has agreed to head that task force. Be interesting. If he has the time, that'd be a good one to do it. But he's agreed to do it. In 2022, fraud and improper payments alone cost taxpayers an estimated hundreds of billions of dollars. As the first order of business, this commission will develop an action plan to totally eliminate fraud and improper payments within 6 months. This will save trillions of dollars, trillions. It's massive. For the same service that you have right now, trillions of dollars is wasted and gone, and nobody knows where it went. Further taming inflation and bringing prices way down.
Yeah, so old Elon Musk is coming in to save the day, man.
Which he was an advisor to Trump last time too, wasn't he?
Yeah, and then he recused himself from it. I'm trying to remember. A lot of it was about EVs and like green technology and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But then there was a lot of shit that was going on during the Trump administration at that time. And essentially Elon Musk was like, I can't be a part of this right now or whatever. Like, it's too much shit going on. And that was also around the time he was like buying Twitter.
Yeah, stuff, exactly. So. And then now like a lot of things have changed and Elon has kind of realized all the bullshit. So now he's a lot more full into this than he was last time. Yeah. Because things have changed.
There's nothing wrong that I heard there.
No, not at all.
He's talking about auditing the federal government, ensuring that fraud ceases to be
Which we've talked about that before. They've failed the last 5 fucking audits.
Yeah, the DOD alone. Yeah. There's like over $2 trillion that's unaccounted for.
Yes.
And I mean, he even like alludes to that in there, but it's like no one knows where this money went. I have a fucking idea where it went. How about all those goddamn elitist cocksuckers and shit? What, you think they buy those fucking $30 million fucking mansions with no money? Like, where the fuck do you think all that comes from? All those people, all these nameless, faceless, corporate motherfuckers that work on Wall Street and shit.
And not to mention going to other countries. Yeah. Funneling that shit into the third world countries to launder it back to themselves.
Yeah, because some like motherfucker would get like I'm just saying, some motherfucker would get like a vested interest in like maybe a natural gas company or something in Ukraine. And then be like, oh, maybe we should help out Ukraine with like this fucking aid and send all the money and stuff. Oh, my son just so happens to work for them, even though he's a complete walking moron. How much are they paying him? Oh, $1 million a year? That's cool.
Doesn't speak the language? Oh, okay, yeah.
It's like, what the fuck, man? Like, how much more obvious does fucking fraud have to be? You know?
Hey, whenever it's big government, doesn't matter.
Yeah, and it's what gets me because like the liberals just want to be right so much. I mean, inherently everyone just wants to be right, but the liberals want to be right so much they just ignore all of that shit.
Oh yeah, they're willing to look past that to fund and feed their own interests.
Yeah, and then like I mean, we see it in our comments all the time. You know, they'll be like, oh, like you're gonna have a convicted felon and a rapist in the office. Well, first of all, let's look at the reality here, you know? Like, if you stack...
Who do we have right now? It's the same thing.
Yeah, you know? I mean, don't get me wrong. I think they're all psychos. But fucking... Yeah, man. Like, I don't know, dude. But
again, country first, man. Other than that, I don't care.
Yeah, but the country... Like, the thing is, I liked how the Romans fucking did it, okay? All right, during the Roman Republic, they had a treasury, okay? So this is before the empire and all this stuff. But they had a treasury... Obviously, Senate was in charge of it, kept control of it. And what the Romans would do is they would collect a tax on their citizens, and the money would obviously go into the treasury, okay? And then when they conquered places, they would take all the gold, jewelry, silver, all that shit, and then they would fucking put it back into the treasury, right? And then in a short amount of time, Rome became like the richest fucking society on the face of the planet, right? And on the face of the planet. And it was literally like a mortal sin for an elected official to suggest to use any of that money. It just sat there to make them wealthy as fuck. They were like, on paper, we can do whatever we want, but they didn't fucking use it. And anytime someone suggested it, they fucking killed that guy. That's why they didn't have any fucking debt for the longest
time. That's responsible finance.
Yeah.
Like,
and then like everything else, like
Dave Ramsey would be proud of that shit.
Yeah. And then like you're like, oh, how do they pay for it? Everything was funded privately. Like their army, their military was private militaries. And that's how you became like a standing member in society, is you had like a fucking legion.
Yeah, you helped your country.
Yeah, man. And then it was like you proved your worth, and then eventually you went into politics. And you couldn't just go straight into politics. You couldn't just run and get into it. Like you had to like, I think at a minimum you had to do 10 years in the military just to be eligible to even remotely put your name in the hat. You know?
You had to prove your worth.
Yeah. And then obviously that fucking changed when the empire came around, and they were like, oh, let's start using this fucking money. And it was actually during the like the Punic Wars and stuff. But anyway, that's a whole nother fucking thing. What I'm trying to say, and with the point that I'm trying to make here, is somewhere along the way, I feel like America just got super fucking willy-nilly with our checkbook.
Yeah.
You know? It's like a fucking college chick with a bad fucking online shopping problem. That's all it is. Buying shit. What's that Fight Club quote? If we buy shit we don't need with money we don't have to impress people we don't even fucking like.
Yes.
That's America right now, you know? So we need to get the fuck over that. And I think, like, honestly, like, our debt is so fucking high and there's so much corruption that's happening. Just focus on the financial aspect. Fuck all the other shit that's happened, all the geopolitical shit.
Yeah,
fuck
forget about the legalities and anything else. Just the money.
The money alone, dude. We're over $30 trillion in debt. That interest is eating our asshole like an infectious disease never before seen.
Well, I mean, we're never going to be able to pay that off.
Yeah,
so.
there's no plan to pay that off. No. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. So I think, like, going forward, what we need to do, what should happen, is that all of these politicians, right, and all of these people who are appointed to positions, which is almost even worse, because while like an elected official gets elected by the people, they appoint motherfuckers. Yeah, depends on if you're using Dominion voting machines or not. Yeah. So, but they appoint people, right, to fucking.
Which normally is their friends.
Yeah.
Or people that pay them.
Oh, you're the Secretary of Transportation. You're the Secretary of the Treasury. Like, all this other shit, right?
Whether or not they're qualified or have any experience in the position.
Yes, dude. Right? And the fucked up part is those appointed officials, they have no term limits.
Yeah. Once they're in, they're in.
And it becomes this revolving fucking door of corruption and shit. There needs to be limitations to this shit. But honestly, I'm getting fucking tired, because anytime these motherfuckers and fucking Kamala Knee Pads Harris is the goddamn worst about it right now. She's already talking about spending like, what is it? Like, it's over like $1.5 trillion.
Yeah, 1.7 last I heard.
Trillion fucking dollars. Yeah. Like, what is wrong?
And that's only in that's in a short amount of time.
Yeah, like, what is fucking wrong? And what goddamn earth, like, or what reality does that make fucking sense to do? Because you look at, like, it is irresponsible at this point to suggest that we spend money we don't have. Like, it doesn't make any goddamn sense.
Well, again, like, especially on what it's going to.
Yes.
Which is bullshit.
Yes. And, like, honestly, if you were actually using it on the fucking citizens, I could see your fucking argument.
For sure.
If you're like, hey, we're going to do our national defense.
Here's plan A. It requires this amount of money. It'll be done by this date.
Yeah.
Here's what we need to do. If there was a legitimate plan and it all made sense and was actually feasible, then I could get behind that.
We're going to get the cost
of public. But if we're just talking about this is going to be 1.7 trillion, who knows? Fuck you, I ain't telling you what it goes to. Like, there's no plan. There's no nothing. It's just money. It's just thrown around.
Yeah. And then it's like, so you get these so you get the elected officials that get in office, however they get in, they appoint these motherfuckers to be a part of all this crap. And then those motherfuckers then trickle it down to their fucking crony friends in the private sector and shit like that. You know, it's like, dude, what the fuck are we doing, man? You know, like, it in my mind, it borders on treason at this point, because it almost seems to me that these people are actively working against the best interest of the United States.
Oh, they are. I mean,
I would consider that to be a fucking traitor.
It's 100% corruption.
Yeah.
To say to put it mildly.
You know, but hey, whatever. You know, it's not that fucking the most popular goddamn opinion out there. You know, it's just one that I fucking have. You know. So, but motherfuckers are always looking to spend money they don't fucking have in this country. You know.
Oh yeah.
And then, like, what gets me too is a lot of these motherfuckers who do that shit, they didn't even earn it. So that's why I kind of like, to bring it back full circle, like what Trump is talking about, bringing on Elon as an advisor for this economic plan. Elon, okay, granted, he did have a little bit of money from his fucking family in South Africa in the big scheme of things, Wasn't a lot.
But he's clearly not a moron.
And doesn't hold a candle to the wealth that he's created now. Like, yeah, because everybody likes to shit, be like, oh, he was given $1 million, or he had $1 million from like his dad's like fucking emerald mine. Who gives a fuck?
He bought Twitter for $40 billion.
Yeah.
And that was a flash in the pan.
That's like you turning $1 into $1 million. Like some shit like that. Yeah. You know what I mean? When you figure that out, outside of buying a lottery ticket and getting lucky, let me fucking know, right?
Yeah. Because clearly you possess some kind of mental capacity to make money. Like, you're a smart person.
And the thing about Elon is I consider him primarily to be self-made.
Yeah.
And not only that, he's also an innovator. Like, he's created industry and stuff.
And not to mention the fact that he doesn't answer to people, and he doesn't bow down, and he doesn't accept payment to change his mind.
Yeah. And that's a dude that can't be bought.
Exactly. And that's one of the most respectable fucking things you can do.
Yeah, that's why everyone liked Trump when he ran the first time. It's like, oh, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Offer this dude fucking money? He's worth like $4 billion. Like, the dude like probably wipes his ass with Benjamins. You know what I mean? Like, fucking, I don't know. So I'm excited. I do think that's a good idea.
I do too.
I think it's a move in the right direction.
I hope that it comes to fruition.
Yeah. I can't go on about a fucking theory that I have about our national debt and how we're never going to pay it off. And how we're going to go about that. So there is like a theory kind of floating out there that I learned about it in school a few years back. That, hey, like, how do we pay back this national debt? Like, I was taking a poli-sci class and they were going over it. And essentially, there is no paying it back. It's either we completely cancel our currency, which is going to alienate us from the fucking globalized markets. Okay? You know, because that's like... It's literally writing a hot check and then changing banks. That's all that is, dude. And like, fuck, dude. Or the major debt holders, we go to war with them and we win. And then if you want to
alleviate,
and if you want to see who the fuck we're going to be at war with in the next 50 years, I'm not talking like some bullshit proxy war in Ukraine or Israel or fucking whatever fucking random ass small country. I'm talking about actual global superpowers that have the ability to eradicate our quality of life off the face of the earth. Look at the major debt holders of U.S. debt. Those would be the people that we're in the fucking trenches with next.
Yeah.
Because we're not paying that shit. Whatever.
Yeah.
Man, that was a hell of a rant. Anyways. But anyway, so have fun sleeping this weekend. But so this kind of all ties in, like, fuck it, you know, like, we're going in, we're talking about all this stuff and all this corruption and shit like that. And I want to roll right into my next favorite person, Hunter Biden. So I know.
Speak of corruption,
Hunter Biden is back in the news, ladies and gentlemen. It runs fucking deep, man. Like, all this shit does. And it's so, what's the fucking word I'm looking for, man? Where it's families. Nepotism. Yeah. So the corruption is really is founded in nepotism. Like, it's all, if you look at all these families, they all know each other and they're all like married in with each other and stuff like that. You think fucking Trump's daughter married fucking, what is it? Jared, what's his name? God damn it, dude. I can't remember his name.
Know.
He was the advisor to Trump. He worked out, God damn it. It's his son-in-law, Jared Kushner. The guy who looks like the Antichrist. Everybody was calling him Damien. The dude was worth like $600 million and shit because it's like family real estate stuff. You think that dude married fucking Ivanka Trump by accident?
Yeah.
Fuck no. And they're all like, oh, we're super in love. Like, sure fucking thing. You know
on paper. As soon as the checks cash.
But anyway, so like, clearly the Biden family's corrupt as fuck, and with that comes Hunter, but I just think Hunter was like a fuckhead about all of it. Because at least the rest of the people.
Well, I mean, he was smoking crack. So.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. He's smoking crack, fucking hookers with guns to their heads. You know, he's running up, he's just doing crazy shit. And the thing is like, everyone else who does all this wild like corruption and stuff like that, for the most part, they all seem to kind of have their shit together. Like, when they go out in public,
at least like in public.
Yeah, you know, I'm sure behind closed doors, like, they're literally like psychopaths.
For sure, like Epstein stuff.
Yeah. And like, not even human, probably just lizards and shit, you know. But Biden, you know, he's been in the news a lot, obviously, a fuck ton of issues. And me looking at it, it seems like Biden was kind of like a patsy for his father in a lot of ways. But he's back in the news because he has done a complete 180 in his trial now. Now he's pleading guilty on some fucking tax charges and shit. So it's starting there. Honestly, dude, I mean, the dude's probably just getting tired of it. I mean, how long has it been fucking going on?
Hell, I don't know.
If I was him at this fucking point, I'd be like, just send me to fucking prison for 5 years. Yeah, leave me the fuck alone.
Let me get it over with and just get on alive.
But also, if I was just like smoking crack and banging hookers and driving sports cars 150 miles an hour through the Nevada desert, I'd probably want to be out of the fucking can as long as possible.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like he's living miserably by any means. Yeah. So
I like to think him and Andrew Tate hang out a lot. But everyone shits on Hunter Biden all the time, and I get it. Like, I totally get it. I don't think he's a good guy by any fucking means. No. But the reason why I do call him one of my favorite people is because I find him to be interesting. Okay? Because you got to look at who his family is, who his dad is now. Not just who his dad has become, but who his dad has been and shit, right? So all the shit he was subjected to, all the shit that he saw, he grew up seeing American society from a whole different lens, And then not only that, let's be fucking real, dog. My man can party. And I bet it's a fucking good time, dude.
I mean, I'm sure it'd be like partying with the rich kid.
Yeah, dude. Just be out in Vegas and shit, just doing blow and fucking banging hookers and fucking blowing millions of dollars. Yeah, hell yeah, dude. And then you're doing lucrative overseas deals from your iPhone. Like, just shifting major markets from a single text. Not a big deal. But anyway, man, let's watch this fucking video because they're actually going to go into some detail to talk about, like, his tax charges and the fact that he's pleading guilty.
Hi, I'm Diana Macedo. We have breaking news. ABC News has learned Hunter Biden is looking to plead guilty now to federal tax crime charges in Los Angeles. The move comes just as jury selection was set to begin in the case. The 9-count indictment includes both felony and misdemeanor charges on accusations he failed to pay nearly $1.5 million in taxes over 4 years. And this new plea comes more than a year after another plea deal fell apart last year in the final minutes. We have team coverage of this, starting with ABC News executive editorial producer John Santucci. John, what's the latest?
So this was supposed to be a day that jury selection was supposed to begin in California, Diane. This, of course, being the 9 counts against Hunter Biden, 3 of which were felonies. Our colleagues, Peter Haralambos, who's in the courtroom, said Hunter Biden's attorney, Abby Lowell, has just informed the judge that it is Hunter Biden's intention to plead guilty. Immediately after that, the judge dismissed the proceedings and basically told the parties to go into conference. Because here's what has to happen now. A little bit of deja vu, if you recall, because the last time we thought there was a plea deal for something against Hunter Biden, everything went up in flames because the judge didn't accept it. So now what has to happen, the defense team, the prosecutors all have to get on the same page and then get the judge to agree. So a lot more formalities have to happen, but a striking headline on what was supposed to be day 1 of proceedings here.
And I want to bring in our Chief Justice correspondent, Pierre Thomas, for more on that. Pierre, to John's point, the judge has to accept this. Prosecutors have to accept this. Any sense of where they're leaning here?
Well, Diane, I don't get the sense that there were any negotiations in the way that we typically have when there is going to be a guilty plea. We don't get any sense from DOJ leading up to this case that a guilty plea was in the offing, the fact that the jury selection was about to begin. So I get the sense that...
Oh, shit, there you go.
Yeah, old Hunter.
So I have an idea on why he's doing this. But I want to know, why do you think he's all of a sudden just like, because it's not all his charges, obviously, but this is just the tax. Why do you think all of a sudden he's just like, yeah, I'm guilty?
And this is specifically in California.
Yes.
So maybe he's trying to take the heat off on one thing so he can avoid it later on down the road on something else.
Maybe.
Or maybe if there's something, I don't know, because he may be a dummy, but he knows like, this isn't just as outward as it seems.
Yeah. If you're gonna be dumb, you gotta be smart.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So he's definitely got some kind of an ulterior motive to pleading guilty.
I was thinking like, especially like if you start dealing with like federal level stuff, if he just goes ahead and starts pleading guilty, because Biden's not running, he's out. Okay. Like I mean, he's finishing his time if he's even still alive.
Yeah, that's still up for debate. I mean, who knows?
Plug that. When's the last time that dude made a public appearance?
I don't know. Been a while.
You know what I mean? For real. Like, it's not even like a joke. It's just like, dude, like, where is the fucking president? Like, I don't think he's alive anymore, man. Like, honestly.
Yeah, they really wrote him off quick.
Yeah. So here's the fucking thing, dude. I think and I'm not a legal scholar, dude, so take it with a grain of salt. But if that motherfucker starts coming out, and starts fucking, especially if Biden's like actually sick and getting close regardless he's getting close to the end of his term, or if he has some major health issues where it's like, fuck, this dude might not be alive much longer. But if fucking Hunter can turn around and just take it on the face
and get the charges
and get convicted, then his dad can fucking pardon his ass. And I think that might be what's happening. It's what I would do.
That would make sense. Yeah. Because even though Biden has been like, I'm not going to pardon my son, that was a long time ago. And he was still acting like he still had something to live for. You know what I mean? Like, he
has something to live for.
You know what I mean? Like,
holy shit, dude. Yeah, like, how about being fucking president?
I mean, the man...
I get it.
He's basically checked out at this point, dude. Like... So anyway, he has no reason. He has no reason to care or lie to the American people anymore.
Sure.
So
yeah.
But yeah, that's a good point. I could definitely see that happening.
Yeah.
I think Hunter's like, if I can just get these charges and get everything set in stone, then I can just get out of it.
Yeah. So if he actually pardons his ass, we need to make a clip and then like turn this into a short and be like, hey, we called this shit like months ago, you know.
Like, whoops, surprise.
Yeah, but like the people that actively listen to our stuff, like we're getting pretty good at like calling shit. This happened many times in the last year, dude, where it's just like, yeah, that's probably gonna happen, and then it's like, oh shit, what do you know? And the people ask me sometimes like, man, like how do you figure that out? I'm like, dude, you just look at it objectively.
Yeah.
Just like, one, what would you do in that situation if you had no morals or values or ethics, and other, for all intents and purposes, we're just a complete piece of shit. So then that's pretty easy to make a fucking decision.
Oh yeah.
You know, and be like, okay. And then you always just assume that like the full story you're given is not the truth, and you know, if it can happen, it probably will happen. Yeah. So, you know, and that's what.
And if they're telling you information A, just know there's a whole list of shit that they're not telling you.
Look over here.
Yeah, exactly. Look at the carrot.
Yeah, no shit, right? Yeah, but I think also, too, what we're starting to see, too, is in especially Western society as a whole, but really in American society, is the elitists that have typically held control and power and influence over the normal average citizen, right? They're starting to lose that influence and power.
Yeah, because the trust is gone, first off. So there's no...
Mm-hmm.
They no longer... Can they just come out and just spew lines of bullshit and just know that the American people are just going to sit back and lap it up?
And then it's also the availability of information now is out of their hands. They can't control it. They tried.
They want to.
They've tried with severe censorship and all this other stuff, and they'll mask it under like hate speech or something like that. But yeah, like information is so readily available, and it's coming out at such an exponential rate. Like how many hours of content are uploaded to YouTube like every second?
I believe it's like 500 hours a minute.
Yeah, it's something insane. 500 hours a minute.
And that's just one platform.
YouTube.
Yeah. Not talking about X.
Yeah.
Instagram,
you can't
Facebook,
control that
shit.
Yeah. You know, the cat's out the bag, man. And so like about like I'd say like a quarter to like half of the fucking population is like kind of waking up like, hey, something ain't fucking right.
Yeah.
You know? It looks like a duck, it quacks like a duck. It's probably a fucking duck, dude. You know what I mean? Like, like the writing is on the walls, you know? And like, honestly, like, I just think the American government just needs a fucking solid enema, dude. You know? But, and then it's funny because they act like little bitches when like people get pissed off and there's like.
They act like they're right.
Mm-hmm. Like, it's literally like being in a bad relationship. Like, it really is. Like, you know, you get in a bad, like, you're in a relationship, say, like, with a girl or something like that, or, like, whoever's listening, your significant other, your partner, if you want to get all fucking woke with the shit. But, like, so fucking, that was a gender-neutral term. That wasn't a gay joke. I gotta clear that up. Because partner used to be a gay thing, and then now it's just, like, generically,
you know? People got banging cars and frying pans and whatever the fuck else now, so whatever.
I shit in a litter box and I identify as a frying pan. God damn, what the fuck happened to this world? But fuck, what was I saying?
The trust is gone.
Oh yeah, so the trust is like fucking gone, right? So like you're in a relationship, but like, you know, with this other person, right? We'll say just a girl, just keep it, you know, keep it kosher. You're in a relationship with a frying pan, and then, dude, sorry, I'm trying to say this, get this shit out. But anyway, so you're like in a relationship with a fucking cast iron skillet that you just washed with dish soap.
And she's gaslighting you.
She's gaslighting the fuck out of you. Okay, so yeah, so you're in this relationship, and essentially your partner just fucked you over. So let's say cheating or something like that, right? And then you're like, you know what? they were going through some things at the time. It wasn't that bad. I can understand what was going on. Maybe I'll give it a second try. All right, so you get back. But the thing is the trust is gone. So that fucking skepticism, that resentment, that anger just continues to fucking build. The relationship is over, but neither party wants to admit it. So I'm just saying. I got oh shit, my dog is like I got real quiet when I was about to go what the next step was. Talking about the American people breaking up with the government.
Yes, like you said, there needs, at some point, people are waking up to this shit, and I think that's not going to go back at this point. It's too far gone. People there's going to continue to be an influx of people that feel that same way.
Yeah.
And the powers that be are freaking out about that shit.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure, man. And my dog just heard us laughing our asses off, and now thinks that someone's trying to break our house or some shit. So, man. Yeah, but Lala. That's power. God damn it, right there as soon as I said that. But whatever. But yeah, man, so there's obviously, she'll quit barking here in a second. But, or maybe a truck drove by or something. But, so, Jesus Christ, girl. Yeah, so I don't know, man. There's obviously some issues as far as like trust and all of those and all that stuff between the American populace and the American government, right?
Oh yeah.
And if we don't get our fucking hands around this thing, sooner rather than later, it's just going to progressively keep getting worse, you know?
But at this point, what can really be done? I mean, do you think I personally think we're too far gone, because at this point, half of the population, like even just splitting it down the middle, Democrats and Republicans. At this point, it is like a full-on war.
Well, I didn't say it, but a clever man could say that I alluded to the fact of overthrowing the government. But I never said that. Don't do that.
We don't condone violence.
We don't condone violence.
Subscribe to our Patreon.
Yeah, but $1 a month. If you pay $5, you get a fucking sticker sent to your house too. Sure. That's kind of cool. But yeah, the reality, obviously that was a joke, but not the sticker, but the other shit about the overthrowing the government. I'm really trying not to end up on a watch list. I already have trouble flying on planes anyway. That's another story for another time. But anyway, so I'm really trying to stay out of the government's hair. But the reality is, like, there just needs to be a complete overhaul of it, man. Like, there needs to be limitations to, like, how long these people can serve, what connections they can have to other people in administrations. You know, there just needs to be more checks and balances with that shit, because while that shit may have worked when the Constitution was written and it was a good idea, it was a great idea, and it worked for a fucking long time, the reality is the game has changed, man. Now we have fucking thermonuclear weapons, we have goddamn internet, we have AI becoming a thing. Like, that shit needs to be updated, man, you know?
And plus, not like, even from just to back everything up, like based on a population level, it was way easier. Like just based on numbers alone.
Yeah.
It was
it's
much
gonna be
more
easier to fucking manage 50 million people than it is like fucking 400 million people. You know what I mean? So it's, but, and you know, I'm not saying like we should go and change the Constitution like historically. Like obviously, like you don't fuck with like the Bill of Rights, all that. You know, but
those are a good foundation.
The idea is that we could amend it is something that I think we need to start exploring. Like where we can literally put control on these elected officials and be like, this is in the Constitution. Yeah, I mean, there's already shit there for them being elected and all that stuff, but you can just literally be like, hey, you are limited to 2 terms.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all you get. So
or if you're not doing your job or you're not doing a job that the American people deem appropriate, then get the fuck out of there.
Yeah. You know? And it'd even be like, you know, if AI really becomes a thing, I think that shit should be fucking in there, man. You know? I mean, if you're really dealing with something like that, like how is that used? You know? But they're never going to do it, man. You know, because it takes 2/3 Congress to fucking get behind doing a fucking amendment to the Constitution. And it's really convenient when it always seems to be about 50-50 always. Yeah. You know? So...
And at that point, they're going to be like, AI, they're going to take our jobs. You like how almost every profession at some point is like, is AI going to take my job? Like, it just, like, you're like, no, it's never going to fucking take my job. 6 months down the line, you're like, oh shit, it's doing my job.
Fuck. It did what? Oh, god damn it. You know? Well, I guess I can't be a fucking sales associate for an online fucking distributor anymore. Like, you know, because all that's fucking going.
Like AI lawyers. Shit, what am I going to do?
It's crazy, man. I mean, we talk about it because, you know, like new semester just started up, and we've been talking about it in school because I'm actually taking a technical writing class for like scientific writing or whatever. You know, to eventually to publish papers and shit like that or whatever. Or if you want to write anything in the scientific realm, STEM realm, and they're really worried about it, man. Like really worried about it, and they're like, hey, like a lot of these people are not gonna have fucking jobs. Because what would take someone like a month to make or whatever, that shit is cranking out in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's just as good, if not better in some cases, you know? And even then...
especially just on time saving alone, it is better.
And now I see the potential benefits of using it.
For sure.
But there's a lot of problems. I mean, there's a lot of I see a lot of problems with that shit like in school right now, man. You know,
well, there's some teachers that are like full on. We were in my class today. We were talking about it. We had a discussion, and there's some teachers that are like totally against it. They're like, no use of AI in my class whatsoever for any reason. And other teachers are like, yeah, be like, use that as a tool. And then my professor brought up the point. He was like, it's the same thing. Whenever photography was invented versus painters, the painters were like, oh, I'm not going to have a fucking job anymore because there's a camera. But like, no, there's still uses for and then from camera to film and all that, like just as it evolves. Everything else, music, like everything has an evolution.
For sure.
So there's always people in the beginning that are like denying it and don't like it, but then eventually it happens. You can't stop progress.
For sure. I went to a rally once and I saw someone wearing that shit. I went to go observe a rally. I wasn't in it, but it was like it was a far left. There was a lot of like Antifa shit there, and it was a dude. I'm just gonna be real with you. It was a guy.
Was it though?
Pretending to be a chick.
Okay.
So anyway, and it was literally looked like an extra for like an Antifa commercial or some shit, and it just had on the shirt, just said, you can't stop progress. And I just, the only thing I thought in my head was like, the fuck I can't. You know, like that? Yeah, we can stop that.
Be like, that is not progress.
That is the opposite.
Yes, that is regression.
But, yeah, like I mean, like the writing class that I'm taking now, dude, like they actually integrate AI into it.
That's good.
They'll have segments where it's like, you have to write this on your own. And then they'll have segments where, okay, now use AI. And see how it changes and how it's different. So I do kind of like that, where it's that you can see both sides of it. And it's the same thing with classic film and CGI. I like classic film. I like that smooth, natural look to it. But watching a crazy-ass Michael Bay movie where there's a shit ton of CGI is also cool, too.
I know. It's a cool experience.
You know? So, I mean, there's going to be a place for that stuff.
Exactly, yeah.
You know? But I just think the government... Because we're just shitting on the government this episode, with really no different.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
episode. But they need to fucking get their hands around that shit, man. You know, and I think going back to the Trump and the Elon stuff and everything, I think a part of you know, fucking getting the government in order is putting the onus on them, where they have some sort of responsibility to understand the changes that are happening in our society. And then to try to govern that in a way that is appropriate. Now, I'm always an advocate for less legislation, less laws within reason, but obviously this thing, it's fucking alien. That was really what it is. It's like, what the fuck are you gonna do? And here's the fucked up part. You wanna do a thought experiment with me for like 2 fucking seconds? We can't handle AI. What the fuck would happen if we actually had aliens show up?
Yeah.
These motherfuckers gonna make a decision? You know? And then it's also dudes who are old as fucking dirt. They look like the Crypt Keeper from fucking Tales of the Crypt, right? And you want to tell me what the fuck you know about goddamn artificial intelligence? Dude, you don't even know how fucking Outlook works.
Yeah.
For real, like...
You can't even operate Facebook.
Yeah, you know?
But the big problem with our government is reactive, not proactive.
That is true.
So we always wait for something to happen, and then we freak out and try to fix it real fast. There's never any planning or
this is going to be a potential thing that comes
Exactly.
We should consider a contingency plan just in case.
It's just like, thumb on my ass, holy shit, this happened, what are we going to do now?
Makes you wonder what the fuck you're paying them for, really.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, because if that was an employee and I had a business and they worked there, I would just fire their ass. Be like, oh, you're just reactive to everything? Like, you're not proactive.
You don't think about anything and try to plan or help out any way?
What are you
just
doing?
Wait for shit to happen?
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
we're in here to make money, and you are not doing
it's
that.
It's like operating a cruise liner and just waiting for it to flood and be like, damn, I should have got a lifeboat.
But yeah, man. So I mean, the government is just going through a lot of shit. Obviously, I mean, it's election season too, man. And
so they're pulling out all the stops.
Yeah, so they're pulling out all the fucking bullshit. And some of this bullshit is resurfacing.
Yeah.
So the Russian fucking
propaganda
machine is back in full force again. I just cannot believe they're trying this shit again. They're trying to say that Russia is going to basically rig our election. They're literally going with this now. Is that what the fuck we're doing again? Because that fucking worked so well for you the first time.
Yeah.
You know?
So they spent years and years saying Trump colluded with Russia, only to find out that it was the exact opposite.
It was literally the exact opposite.
And now they're trying to do it again.
Yeah, dude. For real? Like, come on. I mean, unless Russia came back this time and actually is fucking trying.
They were like, you know what? That was a good idea.
Fuck, if I'm going to get accused of something, I might as well fucking do it.
Sure, we've been there before. I mean, but I don't, like, every day I find myself asking this question. How stupid do they think the American people are?
I don't know. Dude, for real.
But then you see some American people and you're like, holy shit, people are stupid.
Just read our comment section for a little while and I'll tell you everything you need to know. Because I've said it before in earlier episodes, man, when we started this, when Moses and I started this show, I was very optimistic about people.
You were.
I really was. That is now come to a screeching halt. I was like, oh, people are inherently good. Like, they try to like self-educate. You know, they don't take everything.
They're not morons. They know stuff.
Yeah,
like
good. Society holds together. You know, there's a social contract. We're all fucking good. We're doing our part. And then now I'm like, this whole fucking ship is about to sink. You know, at a drop of a hat. If one fucking bolt comes out of this thing, we're fucked. That's all it is, dude. I'm looking at fucking rental houses in goddamn Canada right now, just in case this shit. Not really. I wouldn't go to fucking Canada. Fuck that. Before Trudeau. Yeah.
Get him out of there.
Yeah, I don't know why the fuck they keep his ass in office.
I mean, hell, they probably say the same shit about us. We got Biden's stupid ass.
Yeah. Well, like the Canadians that like I interact with and stuff and like know a little bit, like they none of them like Trudeau.
No.
Now it could be like my targeted audience based on.
I think that probably based just like we never talk to people that support Kamala, which apparently they're all over the fucking place if you watch the news.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have to see one, but anyway.
Yeah. That's like when we were making that short about it. Like, that's where the joke kind of came from. I pieced together. I was like, now that I think about it, I haven't actually seen or met one.
Yeah.
And
not a real person.
Yeah, and like even like the reality is, like, I go to a public university. It is like
so there are kids that are normally liberal.
Now I know it's in Texas, but fucking
hear
me out. Public universities are some of the most diverse places you can go to.
Mm-hmm.
They are. I mean, there's kids from all over the world there, every demographic you could ever imagine.
And I would say they would lean liberal as a whole anyways.
Yeah.
I mean.
You know, and really, and there's been like rallies. And there hasn't been anything violent because it is a small town in Texas. But, you know, there's about 10, 11,000 students that go there. So you see all this stuff, man, but not one fucking Harris flag. Not one Harris supporter. I didn't see the shit for fucking Biden. Occasionally there'd be a conversation, like the closest I would ever get is I'd have conversations with people and they'd be like, yeah, I'm a little liberal or whatever. And then I'd ask them like, okay, like, well, what is your opinion on Biden or like now Harris or whatever? And then I just kind of get the shoulder shrug like, you know? It's like, really? Like, that's where the Democratic Party's at right now.
Yeah.
And then you flip the fucking coin and the entire parking lot is full of like Trump stickers, Trump flags, like fucking, not even all that much. A lot of it is like American flags and shit like that. Like, dude, people are just fucking tired, man. They don't want to deal with it. You know, they're tired of seeing their country being fucking turned out like a lot lizard at a fucking 7-Eleven, dude.
Exactly.
You know?
It's time to take our country back.
It is. You know, and that's why I'm saying, like, I think this election is going to be the most scrutinized and probably one of the most important elections the American people have ever had in our entire history. And then I also think, now I'm not like, I just have to fucking say this because of YouTube. Don't condone violence. No part of that shit whatsoever. But I could see some shit going down the beginning of January.
Yeah, I mean, regardless of who wins.
Regardless of who wins. That's the key point now. Regardless of whoever wins.
Does it like left or right?
Mm-hmm. Because as it stands now, like as we were talking about, the American people's trust in the government and the institution itself is so eroded that even if there is a fair and honest election, most people will not believe it.
No. And there's so much hostility, like just in general on both sides.
Yes.
Like,
so could I see like another January 6th? Sure, absolutely. You know, and then also like as a joke, like fuck it, like maybe that's becoming America's favorite pastime. It's just like we fucking riot. Like we don't give it doesn't matter who the fuck wins. We just riot.
Yeah, I mean we've been doing that shit since Obama, so
that might be what it's getting down to, dude. I don't know.
I mean, the average person is so miserable. They just have to let some steam off by going on a riot, like regardless of what they actually believe in.
It's every 4-year purge.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
But we need to go back to like the Russia stuff that we were talking about earlier. We need to watch this video or whatever because this is interesting to see what these motherfuckers are pulling.
Yeah.
The state-funded news outlet RT and a number of other individuals accusing them of trying to influence the presidential election in November. The US Treasury Department has accused 10 individuals, including RT's editor-in-chief and deputy, and 2 entities of covertly recruiting unwitting American influencers in an attempt to manipulate the vote. Well, the Justice Department says it has seized 32 internet domains used in the influencing effort under directions of the Russian government.
These websites were designed to appear to American readers as if they were major U.S. news sites like the Washington Post or Fox News. But in fact, they were fake sites. They were filled with Russian government propaganda that had been created by the Kremlin to reduce international support for Ukraine, bolster pro-Russian policies and interests, and influence voters in the United States and in other countries. Internal documents of the Kremlin describe the content as, quote, bogus stories disguised as newsworthy events, close quote. This malign influence campaign has been referred to as doppelganger. The Russian public relations company drove viewers to these websites by deploying influencers and paid social media advertisements. They also created fake social media profiles, posing as U.S. citizens, post comments on social media platforms with links to the sites. According to SDA's records, it actively sought to, quote, eliminate the possibility of detection of the Russian footprint.
You want to start or you want me to?
I want to hear your thoughts on this
one. Well, okay, so that was about the most vaguest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. Just vague. Mm-hmm. There was no substance to it. Here's the thing. It's like, oh, it's propaganda. There's comments. There's accounts. There's things like this. What was said? Who exactly did it?
And it said it was to deter, like to put down Ukraine and bolster Russian interests?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
So,
like, I get the negativity towards Ukraine, but if you're an American voter, how is helping Russia going to influence your vote? Like, I don't really understand that. Like, what are they specifically
That's what they're trying
about?
To paint it as. Of like, oh, if you don't support Ukraine, then you are supporting Russia.
Yeah.
How about we don't support fucking either one of them?
Exactly. How about we stop sending money to everybody?
There's a goddamn idea for you.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, dude, that is fear monger. That they're trying to fear monger. They're trying to sow seeds of doubt coming up to the election. That's all it is. You didn't see and all that shit. Give me a fucking screenshot. Give me an IP address. Show me something.
Yeah, right? I want to know what influencers they were hiring and what they were saying.
Individuals, right? And then is it coming down to like, oh, an American Instagram influencer who collaborates with probably thousands of goddamn people all over the world had one piece of communication with an IP address with someone from Russia, right? And then might have said, hey, maybe I don't think we should continue to give money to Ukraine. Boom, Russian propaganda.
Yeah.
Election interference.
Which that's
what you're doing? Fuck you, man.
Which it would make sense if so let's say I'm an influencer and I go and talk shit about the Ukraine. It's my legitimate personal opinion, and they're going to be like, oh, he was infiltrated by Russia.
Yeah.
And they
Russian
just discount
asset.
that shit. Exactly.
That's what we're doing.
So basically, they're just twisting the agendas again.
It's a word. It's a game of words, man.
Yeah.
That's what it is, dude.
And which hell, we've fucking faced that shit too. Whenever we talk down, like whenever we're like, why the fuck are we donating all this money to Ukraine? Why are we funding these bullshit wars?
Yeah.
Do you know how many people are like, oh, Russian propaganda?
Yeah,
like,
I mean, dude,
you guys love Russia. Like, fuck, no, we don't love either one. We love America.
Straight up got called Nazis a fuck ton.
Yeah.
I was like, what are you talking about? Like,
Yeah.
No, like not by any means. And also, like, maybe I just want to see America's interest first. And they're like, it is in America's interest.
They're like, no, it's not.
Is it though?
It's really
is it
not.
in America's interest? Because I don't really fucking feel like they're all that interested in what the fuck is going on in my life and the people around me.
Yeah.
They're really fucking concerned about fucking Zelensky taking fucking trips to New York City and going on high-end shopping
Yeah,
sprees.
buying coach purses and shit for his wife and flying on private jets and shit that we funded. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Get fucked.
Yeah.
Shove it up your ass. I ain't fucking doing it. And so fuck those cocksuckers sitting on that fucking U.S. sanctions Russia state-funded news outlet RT. Get fucked. Is there some bullshit going on?
For
Probably.
sure.
Probably. Everybody fucks with everyone's elections to some degree. We do it. We have notoriously done it. Everywhere in the world.
Yes.
we have literally overthrown governments. Like, in my lifetime, that has happened, you know? So for us to be like, a fucking chick in fucking goddamn yoga pants sitting there doing poses and shit might have an opinion about sending billions of dollars to Ukraine becomes a Russian asset that's going to cripple the American democracy. Get fucked, dude. Get fucked. Is that what you're going on right now? Shove it up your ass. I got better shit. I have been lied to so much now that, like, you could tell me the truth and even I would be like, no.
Yeah.
No. You know?
I mean, that's the point we're at.
Yeah. You know?
And unfortunately, that's how you have to be. Like, even you need to hear the truth from 20 different people and still question your reality, man. We're just too far past it.
An 18-year-old girl on OnlyFans showing her butthole is going to be the threat to American
democracy. Yeah, dude. I mean,
democracy.
she's tired of sending her hard-earned tax dollars to Ukraine, dude. She flashes that booty hole for pay.
Oh my God, dude.
She wants it to go to homeless people in New York, man.
So we literally just said the same shit they did.
Yeah.
Just use different words.
That's what it is.
Dude, man, maybe one of these days we need to run for office. Turn it into a whole fucking cartoon. And we'll be like, oh, you don't take it serious. I'm like, look at me, you didn't take it serious all this fucking time.
Yeah, be like, everything I say, I mean. What you got?
I got hours of content online. You fucking rip that apart. Go to town. Yeah, man. So I don't know. You know,
again, man, they're just planting those little seeds.
That's what it is.
Seeds of doubt.
Because they can play. Watch, it'll become a bigger thing. And then they're like, all right, here we go.
And then lo and behold, 2 years later, it'll come out.
Yeah, because the FBI themselves had to come out and admit it, and they were like,
Yeah.
there was no like credible evidence that this even actually was a thing. And it was like, oh, okay. And the Steele dossier was like fucking made up. And the Clintons were directly behind that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool. Really? Oh, who was Hillary Clinton? Oh, Secretary of State and ran for president twice? Oh, all right. Fuck. Is this what we're doing right now? All right.
Yeah.
We should bring back the death penalty. Like executions for like political dissonance, man. Like that shit, we should definitely do that.
I mean, again, said it a million times, it's treason.
Yeah.
So
Whatever.
that does hold a punishment by death.